Top five, top five, top five.
So then I'll go back on another video. I'm Strange Wang. He is Nate. Today we're doing top 5 home invasion films in honor of The Strangers, Chapter 1. He'll tell you how our top 5s work, and then we'll get into it.
He's going to start with his 5 and 4. I'll give my 5 and 4, 3-2, 3-2. Then we trade off number ones. We also have something called the Zemeckis rule, which just means if we both have the same movie on our list, but one person has it 2 spots or higher, they'll say Zemeckis, and we'll just talk about the movie once.
Number 5 for your boy is going to be Becky. Low budget, fun, Home Alone-esque movie, but with a lot more heart, and a lot more violence, and a lot more blood. Because she's not killing bandits that are wet. She's killing Nazis. Skinheads,
that are dry.
Exact. Kevin James as a skinhead. Surprisingly, very good performance.
Really?
But these skinheads left something at this cabin. They get out of jail. They have to go back. They have to get that Nazi memorabilia. They have to get those plans. They have to get, I believe it's a flash drive they're looking for. And little moody teenage angst Becky and her family are on this road trip. And she's trying to get to know her new stepmom. And that conflict to take you away from the Nazi stuff is great. But when the Nazi stuff enters in, that's where that's where the Home Alone type shit comes in.
Good.
Fun movie. Check out Becky if you haven't seen it. Number 4. Reason why we're doing this list, Strangers.
Zemeckis.
Wow. I know you've seen it because you went on a date and that girl made you see it.
No, it wasn't a date.
It wasn't a date?
No, the only horror movie that I've ever gotten forced to see on a date
Drag to Hell?
was One Missed Call.
Okay.
And man, is that a bad movie.
So you watched a horror movie before you really loved movies?
Yeah.
Because you wanted to?
You mean The Strangers? No, The Strangers going to see The Strangers still wasn't my idea.
Okay. I knew it wasn't your idea.
Well, I'll tell when we get there, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So in doing research for home invasion movies, I found that I have seen 5 home invasion movies.
5 out of the 11.
And we had a conversation about this beforehand, and we were both on the same page. When we said home invasion movies, we meant movies that like the whole point the movie is about a home invasion and things that happen during that home invasion. So it's like there are lots of really, really great movies that have a home invasion or 2 scenes in them, but that doesn't mean they're home invasion movies. The Fugitive starts off with a home invasion, but that is not a home invasion movie. So anyways, at number 5, I have Home Alone 3, which I don't know if I'll ever watch this movie again. Maybe when my kid's old enough to watch it. But I watched this movie so many freaking times when I was a kid, and I loved it. Are you thinking something specifically? Your face is distracting me.
I'm sorry. What's the difference between a burglary? Well, I guess you're right.
They're at home, and their home got invaded.
You're right.
I mean, what?
Yeah, you're right.
Specifically, according to South Carolina law, the difference between a burglary and a home invasion is that someone is home when you break in. So if you weren't at home and Tucci wasn't at home and someone broke in, it's not technically a home invasion, it's a burglary. But if you are home, then it's a home invasion.
Well, if I knew I could put Home Alone on my list, I would have a completely different list.
How the fuck did you not?
It just...
What?
It just didn't...
It didn't click that
it didn't
that's
register.
Literally a home invasion?
It did not register.
Huh. That's really interesting. Okay, so Home Alone 3. Is it a good movie?
No, of course not.
Do I think it's incredibly fun?
Yes!
I like the parrot. I like the rat. The kids know Macaulay Culkin, that's for sure, but it's more modern. So like he had a lot of like the like cool toys and stuff. Like Home Alone, I was really young when Home Alone came out, and he had some cool stuff that I always wanted. But this kid like had stuff that I had, and and it was a great house, and it has a very young Scarlett Johansson in it. And yeah, I really dig that movie. At least I think I do, because I haven't watched it. Shoot, and probably...
Come on. Think.
23 years.
You're old.
My number 4 is Windfall.
I've never... Oh!
The Netflix movie with Jesse
yeah.
Plemons, Jason Segel,
I've never seen
and I swear I'm not sexist, but I can't remember the girl.
Isn't it Scarlet Witch? Elizabeth Olsen?
Is it?
I'm asking.
I don't know. Anyways, this movie is really dry. I think it's really funny. I love Jesse Plemons. I don't always love Jason Segel, but he's hilarious in this movie because it's like, well, it's a very intentional home. Did you see this? Oh, I think it's, it's worth a watch in my opinion. But yeah, I think it's pretty funny. It's got some good drama in it. It does a fairly good job of building some, like a good level of tension. It's mildly funny even in the premise alone, because it really starts with Jason Segel just kind of being a squatter in their house while they're gone. But then they kind of unexpectedly come home and he just kind of commits to the home invasion bit. But he sucks at it. And Jesse Plemons is constantly letting him know how much he sucks at it. So it's a pretty good movie. If you like really, really dry stuff, then you'd like the movie. If you don't and you think that's boring, then you would probably not. But I really enjoy it. And the ending is quite surprising. So pretty good movie. That was my 4.
Yeah. I mean, sounds something I would like. Last time you told me I should watch a movie, I'll probably like it. I accidentally watched a porno called The Hills Have Thighs. Who knew there was 2 movies called The Hills Have Thighs?
Skittles and grits.
Number 3 is going to be Panic Room, David Fincher, thriller. Duh. It's going to be a good fucking movie. You got Forrest Whitaker. You got... Fuck.
Never seen it. Can't help you. I still have IMDb up on my phone, though.
Joker. Bad Joker.
Joaquin Phoenix?
No. Well, that's Bad Joker, too.
Jodie Foster.
Joker? How do you get Joker from Jodie Foster?
Kristen Stewart.
Jared Leto.
Jared
Leto.
I just started reading the cast list.
Jodie Foster. You got a young Kristen Stewart. You have a great cast.
Oh, Victor Thrash is in this?
Don't know who that is.
Me neither, but he's SWAT cop.
Fucking guy.
But he has a cool name.
He does. Yeah. That's a comic book. That's an X-Men character's name. Yeah. David Fincher made a good movie. Surprise, surprise.
What else?
Number 2 is going to be Hush. This is the most underrated movie Netflix has ever made. You have a deaf girl being stalked by a killer, and she doesn't know it yet.
You really love movies with deaf people in them.
We talked about Quiet Place and this.
Yeah, but you love, like, you still back Coda.
Coda's a really good fucking
terrible
movie.
A Hallmark ass movie.
You are a cornball.
That movie is fucking corny as shit. You keep talking about your movie.
I can't help you hate deaf people.
I don't. Sound of Metal
Apparently.
is absolutely incredible. I love that.
Apparently. Top 5 deaf people movies next week. She doesn't know she's being stalked by a killer. Killer has a mask on. Tension. Technique of the tension. 10 out of 10. You have 2 types of home invasion movies, I think. You have breaking in to steal, and you have breaking in because this is a fucking game that I'm a sick fucking I get off on. I'm a sick fucking I get off on it. So you have this deaf girl. She can't hear. Tension. out the wazoo and a killer. She has to survive. She has people she has to protect. Boyfriend's coming back. Jesus Christ, dude.
It's just
It
like
is
right
close.
there. Yeah.
It is. The boyfriend's coming back. She's trying to warn him. She can only do so much. And it's modern technology, the cell phone. So we have all that in play. Unlike A Quiet Place and stuff like that, where that's taken away. Like Strangers, they had flip phones. So like losing signal wasn't crazy back then.
Right.
It was very common. So everything that you think a person can do to get out of a situation like this, it has a smart, logical reason why it doesn't work. And that's the best thing I can do say about this movie. It's just fucking smart. It's entertaining. It's thrilling. It'll put you on your toes like you a fucking ballerina.
That there's impressive.
All right. So my number 3, I will admit, is a stretch. But I had to have 5 movies for this list. And since I had to include this movie, I still placed it appropriately in terms of my favorites. So my number 3 is Monster House. When you think about it, it's kind of a double home invasion movie because the house itself is literally being invaded by a spirit, and also the kids are in fact invading a house that is occupied, just not by someone who's living.
See,
so
I saw that with Don't Breathe, and I was like, I don't think that counts. Because, yeah, they're doing a home invasion, but
well, there you go.
the guy, they're breaking and entering, but the guy is the one tracking them down and hunting them down. And I was like, that just doesn't work for me.
That's fine. Yeah, I had to have 5 movies for this list.
You never seen Don't Breathe?
No, I've literally had someone like tell me the movie like almost beat for beat. So like I already.
Who's the asshole that ruined that movie for you?
I don't talk to them anymore.
Bro, your thriller game's on the trash. You just need to go and watch nothing but new thrillers from the last 10 years for the next 2 months.
So, anyways, Monster House is now officially a home invasion movie, which it literally is. But yeah, it's like it's right in my wheelhouse of incredibly creepy but not scary. And I love stuff like that. I really enjoy the animation style of this movie. And it's also just really fun watching these kids like slowly kind of unravel the mystery of what's going on here. Normally, I don't fuck with paranormal stuff because I don't sleep very well at night when that happens. And even though this is an animated movie, I don't think I lost sleep over it. But the first time that I finished watching it, it definitely had me just kind of like thinking a little bit, like more than I really want. The intrusive thoughts were real. But also, admittedly, when I was like freaking 12 years old, watching reruns of Scooby-Doo at 2 o'clock in the morning during the summer because I don't have to be up in the morning, sometimes that would get to me too.
You're a pussy.
I'm soft. I don't like horror stuff. Monster House is really good, and I'm calling it a home invasion movie.
The live action Goosebumps shows freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah, I get it.
In high school.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. 2 was the Zemeckis from earlier, which is The Strangers. Again, I don't like scary movies. They freak me out. That being said, the only scary movies that I generally enjoy, unless they just also happen to be incredibly good movies like Hereditary or something along those lines, are ones that aren't paranormal. Your slashers, things like that, where it's like just one fucked up or a group of fucked up humans against other humans and things like that. I can handle that. Jump scares are still always going to get me, but those kind of movies don't keep me up at night. That being said, I would never choose to spend my money to go see a movie like that because I don't want to pay to be a nervous freaking wreck in the theater and have to put the feet thing all the way up so that I can prop my legs up on it so that when I need to, I can put my knees in between my face and the screen and make it look like I'm watching the movie to everyone else around me, but really I'm using my knees to block it, which I did that a lot while we were watching Hereditary. But anyways, I don't like scary movies. But very shortly after I graduated high school, I went on a trip to the beach with some of my friends. And one of my friends at the time really liked this girl who lived down at the beach. So we were all hanging out with her, and she wanted to go see The Strangers. So we went to a matinee viewing of The Strangers, and I wasn't going to be like, I don't want to see this because I'm a scared little bitch in front of my friends. So I went and saw the movie, and I actually ended up having a shit ton of fun because it turns out that everyone was a scared little bitch. And to deal with our fear, we just very loudly made fun of the movie in the theater the entire time, and the only other people in the theater was a black couple who we had fucking rolling in the aisles because they couldn't stop laughing at the dumb shit that we were saying. So it actually ended up being one of the best movie going experiences I've ever had. I'm really glad that there was no one else in that theater, because if that was me in that theater and someone else was doing that shit, I would be livid and be like, shut the fuck up, please, you dumbass kids. But on top of that, I actually do think it's a pretty good movie. It is incredibly tense. It has some decent little twists in there. Some of them kind of predictable.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I just very specifically remember being in the theater when the guy's crouched in the corner with the shotgun and you hear the footsteps coming down the hallway. I very specifically remember saying very loudly, oh my god, it's going to be his fucking friend. And guess what? It was. And he blew his fucking chest out with a shotgun.
His face.
He blew his fucking face off with a shotgun. You've probably watched this movie a lot more recently than I have.
Yes.
Because I never watched this movie again after that one time. But I remember it quite well.
This is the one I watched. It was.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh. How'd you feel about it?
It was cool. It felt like
Is Tamara home?
there's a checklist of I'm a sick fuck home invasion movies.
Yeah.
And it was like, we need to do this, 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 and this. And it did all those very well. But it made it predictable. I was scared, so it worked on that aspect. A little anticlimactic, the ending. I don't think it needed to repeat the beginning again. I think the little... No, they Mormons? What are they?
The Jehovah's Witnesses.
The Jehovah's Witnesses finding it.
Yeah.
I think that's terrifying. I don't think we needed to repeat that later at the end of the movie. But just like this, just, you were home and then slowly stabbing them while you take off, that's anticlimactic. It left me wanting more in a weird way, but decent movie.
Yeah.
7.5 out of 10, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if I knew I could have put Home Alone, I wouldn't have been scared for an hour and a half. That was my favorite thing about the movie. Really good runtime.
Yeah.
That shit flies.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, good runtime.
And that was your 3, you said, or 2?
That was 2.
That was 2. Number 1 for me. It doesn't matter what language it's in.
It's not too late to change.
I'm taking both of them. Well, this is like, other than Hush, Panic Room, this has to be on the list. It doesn't matter what language it's in. Funny Games, same director, shot by shot. He filmed it. Was like, it didn't reach the audience I wanted it to. I'll make it in English and do these same exact fucking shots. Same exact fucking words. Dialogue. But this thing is a phenomenal home invasion movie because it's a slow burn at the beginning. They trick their way into the house. They're very nice 2 kids. And they just start tormenting the shit out of this couple and their family. And it builds and builds and builds and builds. And they're sick fucks. It's one of those type of home invasion movies. But the thing that makes it hit home a little bit better, it makes you feel more uncomfortable, is the fact that they break the fourth wall quite often. To the point where they have Adam Sandler's click remote and they rewind shit and be like, they could have done this. They fuck with the audience and they give you hope and then, rewind. That's what they should have did. This is what really happened. And it's just at times it's a hard movie to watch just because since it was made in a foreign language first, you get a bit more, I feel like, liberty to do what you want. So it's very violent in the sense of cruel. It just adds to the film, though. Because you're not supposed to like these people. But you kind of do, because they do have charisma, but they just get sicker and sicker. That's just like, oh my god. I don't know, like, this is like your average American family on vacation. So it's kind of hard to like them. But these two kids are so fucking bad, you, like, automatically root for the family because of the situation. So, great filmmaking, great dialogue. You want a movie that moves you. When it comes to home invasion movies, for me, Funny Games is the best example of that. Because as an audience member, that director, the actors, the dialogue, everything's going to make you feel something. It's going to make you think. It's going to do what a film is supposed to do.
Yeah. Never seen it. So, you said the kids, like, trick their way into the house, and then it got me thinking, because we got on this whole train of, are there, like, home invasion movies that, like, aren't but are? And then I was like, you know, Parasite, kind of a home invasion movie.
Yeah, I guess. I reckon.
I didn't really think about it, but I mean, kind of in two ways, because the family is slowly working their way in, but then the home has technically been invaded the entire time. So, interesting. Anyways, doesn't matter. Damn it. If I had thought about it, I probably would have dropped something and thrown that on there, but I didn't.
You hate Parasite.
I don't hate Parasite. I just don't think it was as good as everyone else thought it was. Home Alone's my number one. It's the best home invasion.
It's got home in the title.
It's the best. I don't understand how you did not think of this as a home invasion movie. I get it. The amount of times that we both sat on this couch and then, you know, the other person said something and we were like, oh, fuck. It happens. But yeah, Home Alone. It's incredible. It's a kid. He's home alone. And guess what happens? His home gets invaded by the wet bandits who are idiots. And this kid is like fucking somehow a genius and like has a basic working knowledge of fucking electrical engineering and shit. But it's wild. You've seen Home Alone. Everybody's seen Home Alone. It's fun. It's tense at times. And it's just like one of the best, if not the best, at least live action family movie ever made.
Am I lying?
So, it was my number one.
Yeah, well, making this list, I wasn't like, I wonder if we're going to bring up a John Candy movie. But we did.
Yeah.
So, shouts out to John Candy. Let us know in the comment section.
Very big in Sheboygan.
He is. He's very big in general.
Polka,
no
polka,
offense.
Polka, polka, polka.
Let us know your top 5 favorite home invasion movies. Are there home invasion movies we missed? Probably so, because obviously we haven't seen that many of them. But we tried.
Yeah.
A for effort. If you agree with that, go ahead, click that subscribe button and share this video. Show your friends our lack of home invasion movie knowledge. But our... What's the opposite of lack?
Abundance?
Abundance of character and friendship that comes off on camera.
Is Crawl a home invasion movie?
Nah, animals don't count. You seen Crawl?
Is Jumanji a home invasion movie?
You seen Crawl?
No, you told me about it though.
Motherfucker. Watch your fucking thrillers.
It's not a game, it's a